So, we're a little over halfway through 2025, the year I decided to improve my Pokemon skills. Let's see how far we've come so far. The challenge is beating Pokemon Black using only early route Pokemon. There are a lot of rules for this, but the main one is I can only use Pokemon that I can catch before the first gym. An underleveled trainer with some random Lillipups and Patrats went up against N and nearly whited out to his one Pokemon. Now, I wanted to get some Pokemon with good natures, but before the gym, I had enough money for about 17 Pokeballs. I need to find a way to get more in order to get all my Pokemon with good natures. So, how do I get money without fighting any trainers to get levels? Well, I had an idea. I decided to just train up a handful of Pokemon and added a bunch of Lillipups with pickup to my team as I went. The Lillipups picked up enough items for me to buy more Pokeballs, and thanks to one thing, I was able to catch more Pokemon to get a more finalized team. Now, as far as Route 2, there are only 3 Pokemon I can catch, so I got a bunch with natures I really liked. And then finally, I went to the Dream Yard to get my final Pokemon. With that, I had my final team. Penelope, the Lillipup. Fighter, the Lillipup. Kitty, the Purloin. Big, the Purloin. Crafter, the Patrat. And Showman, the Panpour. Let's see if these 6 can truly shake the world. First, I had to fight Chili. I led with Big against Lillipup, and after quite a bit of fighting, Big defeated it. Next was Pansear, who quickly took out Big, so I sent out Showman. And we exploited our type advantage and let us win with ease. First badge was obtained. In between gyms, Penelope and Fighter evolved into Herdiers too, meaning we're all good to go for the next gym. Next was Lenora. I led with Crafter against Herdier, who activated Intimidate, lowering our attack. Herdier was pretty strong, so I had Crafter use Hypnosis, putting Herdier to sleep. We did quite a bit of damage using Crunch before Herdier woke up, and then took down Crafter. I sent out Penelope next, and activated our own Intimidate, which allowed us to defeat Lenora's Herdier thanks to the speed EVs we got early in the game. Lenora sent out Watchog next, and it put Penelope to sleep, and with those shenanigans, Penelope went down. So I sent out Fighter next, who defeated Watchog. The second badge was ours. On the way to the next gym, Crafter, Big, and Kitty all evolved into their final forms. This should hopefully give us a little bit of edge on Burr, who is probably one of the toughest gym leaders in this game. I sent out Crafter against Burr's Whirlipede. Both Crafter and Whirlipede attack each other for a bit, and then Burr healed up, which got me a little annoyed because after that, Crafter was defeated because of it. I sent out Showman next, and we used Water Gun, defeating Whirlipede, but then came Leavanny. And I knew I had to switch. I sent out Penelope, who activated Intimidate, but afterwards we were instantly defeated. I sent out Big next. Big did some damage, but was taken out shortly after. I sent out Kitty, who did a little bit of damage with Fury Swipes, but we were still taken down. I sent out Fire next, and activated Intimidate once again. Fighter took a Struggle Bug before using Tackle, defeating Leavanny. Burr sent out Dwebble next, and while Fighter did good damage, we still went down. I sent out Showman next, who used its newly learned move, Scald, which easily KO'd Dwebble. The third badge was mine. Since Showman knew Scald, it was finally time for me to evolve it using a Water Stone, giving us Simipour, one of the strongest Pokemon that I can use this playthrough. Time to fight Elisa. I led with Fighter against Emolga. She Volt Switched into her second Emolga, and we used Rock Tomb. We were hit by Volt Switch again as Elisa switched back to this Emolga, and we used Rock Tomb again. However, Emolga took us out next turn with Volt Switch. I sent out Kitty, though, whose high speed allowed us to KO Emolga with Payback. Elisa sent on her first Emolga again and used Volt Switch, sending it into Zebstrika. Since Zebstrika is faster than Kitty, we used Payback, getting double damage, doing 100 base power to Zebstrika, defeating it. However, Emolga came in and defeated Kitty. I sent out Penelope next, and did good damage but got paralyzed, ultimately resulted in her going down. I sent out Big, and we took out Emolga with a fake out, winning us the battle. The fourth badge is ours. Not much happened in between the next two gyms. I got some good items, I guess, but that's about it. Clay uses ground types, and for the first time in this challenge, Showman has a time to shine with super powerful Scald, defeating Clay. That's the fifth badge. I finally distributed some items amongst the team, thus making the team just a little bit stronger, and to make it a lot stronger, both Penelope and Fighter evolved into Stoutlands, giving us a major edge for this challenge. Because taking out Skyla was super easy thanks to Penelope, and same with Bryson. This challenge was finally starting to become easier, with 2 more gym badges getting added to my arsenal. Next, you have to actually go back through the game, and I had a bunch of items that I wanted to get on the way. So I did that, and then had to travel all the way back through the map. After several hours, I got to Drayden and had a plan. I used Hail and then Blizzard, destroying his team, meaning we had the 8th gym badge. Finally, it was time for the Elite Four. I got my team ready for the Elite Four, who actually don't have that many. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. I had to get my team ready for the Elite Four. And funny thing, the Elite Four doesn't have too many problems with us. Well, most of the Elite Four. Enter Elite Four member Marshall. He uses fighting types, which are a major problem for most of my team. This is gonna be tough. The only Pokemon I have is Showman for this. Now, Showman can learn Acrobatics, a move that does double damage when the Pokemon has no item. It was all up to Showman. A previous attempt ended in failure, so I thought I'd try again. I sent out Showman against Throw. We Acrobatics and defeated it. Next was Sock, who we used Acrobatics on and defeating it after its Sturdy ability. Next was Marshall's strongest Pokemon, Conkeldurr, who defeated Showman in the last attempt. However, this time, empowered by the need for victory, it got a crit, OHKOing Conkeldurr. Finally was Mean Shao, and we defeated it, winning us the battle. Somewhat anticlimactically, but I'll take it how hard it's going to get later. The rest of the Elite Four went down pretty easy, thank God. And that was another milestone complete. Upon going to Battle N, I summoned Reshiram, and it instantly left me. This is fine. I can beat N without Reshiram. That's Zekrom. So I had 2 attempts that ended quite differently. The first attempt I had an unlucky fight with Zekrom, but a lot of luck fighting the rest of his team. Meanwhile, the second try, I got lucky fighting Zekrom, but unlucky fighting the rest of N's team. This was really bad. Where I found headway, I had luck. If I wanted to win this challenge, I couldn't rely on that. But what else could I do? Strategizing has been good, but I need something to give me a giant edge. It felt like the challenge couldn't be won. Or could it? I had one last idea to win. Remember when I said I got every item I could get before? Well, firstly, I missed a quick claw on Sky Arrow Bridge, and secondly, I did completely lie, knowingly, because I had a last resort I could do in Nimbasa City. It was a bit less suspecting, but Nimbasa City holds a battle facility known as the Battle Subway, where you can win BP for prizes. These prizes are all items that we usually see used in competitive play. A lot of these could be useful and could be the lifeline I need to defeat N. Problem: it takes a very long time to get enough BP. I decided to give a choice band to Penelope. The choice band will make Penelope's physical attack 50% stronger, meaning every hit landed is a crit essentially. However, Penelope will be locked into just one move. After a bad run to get back to it, I went in for round 2. I led with Penelope against Zekrom, intimidating it. We were hit by Fusion Bolt next, and we took it well before using Dig. We did about half of Zekrom's health, and we were hit by Fusion Bolt again, and Penelope was able to defeat Zekrom with a easy victory. Next was Kling Kling, who used Focus Blast, defeating Penelope, evening the score. I went with Showman next, and knew this could be Zoroark, so I had Showman use Brick Break, revealing Kling Kling was Zoroark in disguise. We used Brick Break again, defeating it, and then sent out the real Kling Kling. Fighter took a Thunderbolt, and we used Dig, doing big damage. However, we were hit by Metal Sound, lowering our defense, meaning the Pokemon I needed to win this challenge could go down next turn, so I switched to Crafter. Kling Kling used Hyper Beam, and we lived, allowing Crafter to use Hyper Fang to defeat Kling Kling. Vanillux was next, and Crafter was able to dodge a Blizzard and land a Super Fang. However, next turn we were hit by Blizzard and went down. I sent out Big next and used Night Slash, taking down Vanillux. Next was Caracosta, who defeated Big, so I sent out Fighter, and we KO'd Caracosta with Dig. Finally was Archeops, who I knew I needed to do a lot of chip damage to defeat. We used Reversal, which didn't do a lot before going down to Stone Edge. I sent out Kitty next. We used Fake Out for extra chip damage, and I finally got off a Night Slash, doing enough damage to get Archeops into Defeatist. It still KO'd Kitty, but finally was Showman. We used Surf and defeated Archeops. I defeated N, but next I needed to defeat Ghetsis. However, his Hydreigon was too strong, and I was defeated. This was the one battle where I let the reset rule not take into account, because guess what? I don't want to do that end battle again. I led with Penelope against Cofagrigus. We used Crunch doing big damage, and then we were hit with Toxic. We took out Cofagrigus next turn, and once again we were up against Hydreigon. I switched out to Showman, and it was a mistake because we were hit twice and went down. I sent out Penelope again. Hydreigon completely missed a Focus Blast, allowing us to use Facade. That was boosted twice, once by Choice Band and a second time by the Poison. Hydreigon took it, but choked and missed a second Focus Blast, allowing Penelope to KO using another Facade. Bouffalant was up next, and both Pokemon hit each other with all of their strength, and ended up KOing each other. I sent out Crafter and Ghetsis sent out Seismitoad. We hit them with Super Fang, doing good damage, but then we were hit hard back, and Crafter went down. I sent out Big next, and used Night Slash, defeating Seismitoad. Next was Bisharp, who defeated Big with X-Scissor. I sent out Fighter. Intimidate activated, and we defeated Bisharp using Dig. Finally was Electros. We used Facade, doing enough damage, but it didn't KO. However, Electros used Wild Charge, which was a big damage to Fighter, but thanks to the Rocky Helmet and the recoil damage, Electros went down, winning me the challenge. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know Pokemon content kind of took a back seat for a while, and this video took 2 months to make. So I really want to thank you guys for all the support. This challenge did take a long time to make, though, so please, if you could, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!